golf, there's this funny paradox. The tighter you grip the club, the worse your shot gets. I learned that the hard way after placing dead last in several tournaments. I thought that control meant holding on to the swing and the score. But the harder I tried to force a perfect shot, the more often my ball would end up out of bounds. It wasn't until I loosened my grip that everything started to come together. And I realized the same thing happens outside the golf course. Here at school, we're surrounded by some of the smartest, hardest working, most ambitious peers I've ever met. While that competition may motivate us to attain our fullest potential, it also surrounds us with pressure. Everyone's trying to be perfect. The perfect 4.0 GPA, the perfect resume, the perfect college application. We study in a time where burnout has become routine. In 2023, a study conducted by Frontiers in Psychology found that over 70% of high-achieving students report chronic stress or burnout, indicating that perfection isn't just motivating us, it's exhausting us. Some of us rely on Red Bulls and 4 hours of sleep. Some of us are so overwhelmed, we shut down completely. We search for comfort in distractions like doom scrolling, convincing ourselves we'll start again tomorrow. It's an exhausting cycle that's so easy to fall into, the paradox of control. The more you try to control everything, the less of it you actually have. Harvard psychologist Daniel Wegner called this the ironic process of mental control. It explains that phenomenon where the harder you try not to think about something, the more your brain actually focuses on it. I'd like everyone to take a moment to close their eyes and think of anything except for a white bear. And I bet all you can probably think about right now is that white bear. The harder we try not to fail, the more vulnerable we become. Psychologist Ellen Langer coined the term the illusion of control. She found that people who believed they can control every detail of their lives reported higher levels of anxiety and lower levels of satisfaction. They were so focused on avoiding mistakes that they stopped enjoying life. That's called perfectionism. It may seem like perfectionists are the gold standard, driven, ambitious, successful. But perfectionists aren't just driven by a desire for excellence, they're also driven by pride and fear. The late YouTuber Technoblade said it best. Rank number 1 is not an achievement. It's a prison that forces you to dedicate your life to defending a temporary title. Perfection feels like winning, but in reality, it's a rabbit hole. Once you define your worth by flawlessness, you trap yourself in defending it. In golf, you can tell a lot about someone by how they react to a bad swing. Some people curse and slam their clubs. Others take a practice swing and figure out what to improve for next time. What matters isn't how perfect your swing is. It's about how quickly you recover after you mess up. So, how do we get out of this rabbit hole of perfection? Well, it's simple. We loosen up. When your ball lands in a sand trap, your first instinct is to dig harder, to force your way out. But every overexerting swing just buries the ball deeper. The real solution is actually counterintuitive. We slow down, we loosen ourselves, and we center ourselves. When we relax, we can finally lift ourselves out of that hole. Now, loosening up doesn't mean giving up. It simply means shifting your focus from the goal to the game, from the pin to the tee box. Psychologist Julian Rotter, who developed the theory of locus of control, said that people thrive most when they recognize what they're really in control of. Knowing that you dictate your efforts, your attitudes, and your responses is what it means to have an internal locus of control. You can't dictate every outcome, but you can decide how you'll respond. And maybe that's what control really is. Not tightening your grip, but choosing your next move with intention. Because yes, you will mess up. You'll shank a shot every now and then. you'll miss a gimme putt, maybe even two. And that's part of the game. And honestly, that's what makes life fun. The misses, the mulligans, the reminders that you're human. The real danger isn't failure. It's trying so hard that you forget to breathe and live. We can come up with 1,000 ways not to try something, 1,000 reasons not to try something. What if I fail? What if I'm bad at it? What if I don't like it? But here's the question I started asking instead. What if I do? What if it leads somewhere I never even expected? That shift from what if I fall to what if I fly is everything. So get out there. Make that recipe you saw on Pinterest. Learn how to juggle. Get your driver's license. Apply for that summer program. Call your relatives. Build a fort like you did when you were younger. Do something that doesn't have a score or a grade attached to it. Bring back the joy of living. Take breaks, but keep moving. Laugh, but keep learning. And play, but keep growing. I've started living by a simple mindset. Progress over perfection. Celebrate the small wins. Going to sleep before midnight. Getting up with that first alarm. Going outside and touching grass. Because those small moments, they build momentum. And momentum beats perfection every time. Even Tiger Woods, the champion of golf, reminds us that perfection doesn't truly exist. In the 2020 Masters tournament, he shot a 10 on the 12th hole, a par 3. 10. That's 7 over par on a single hole. And to put that into perspective, that's over twice as bad as the average golfer. But Tiger didn't lose his composure. He finished the round strong by birdieing 5 of his last 6 holes. That's not perfection, but resilience. He showed that greatness isn't about never messing up. It's about how quickly you pick yourself back up onto your feet. Life is the same way. It's not about perfection. It's about progress and recovery. And it's not that deep when you think about it. When you look back at your childhood, you're going to care about what you did that made you happy. You're going to remember late night adventures with your friends, random spontaneous moments, that time you tried something new and it was horrible but hilarious. So don't waste your high school years trying to be flawless like your cousin. Don't spend all your youth stressing over a life you're not even living yet. Don't grip so tightly that you forget to enjoy the game. Go out and make stories worth remembering. Thank you.